Also in James chapter 1 verse 5. In James chapter 1 verse 5. It says that if any man lack wisdom, let him ask God, who gives to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Meaning that the Bible says that if any man lacks wisdom, maybe maybe we have a business venture that want to venture into, or probably you are thinking of traveling, I don't know, anything that we feel like we lack wisdom in. The Bible says we should ask him, that he gives liberally unto all, only if we ask him. Remembering our topic is God answers prayers. Also in Matthew chapter 7 verse 7. In Matthew chapter 7 verse 7. The Bible says, ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. And you know, it goes on and on like that. I have so many Bible verses here where you can see examples of God telling us to pray and being sure that our prayers will be answered. You know, all these can only be done in prayers. These are instructions given to us by God that we should always pray. You know, some of the things that can hinder our prayers, you know, we have sin. In let's look at Psalm 66, verse 18. Psalm 66, verse 18. If I regard iniquity in my heart, the Lord will not hear me. If I regard iniquity in my heart, meaning that a life that dwells in sin. We know that a sinful life is unpleasant to God. So if you continue to dwell in sin, it will hinder God from hearing our prayers. You know, there's a popular saying that God hates sin, but loves and welcomes sinners. Sin is unpleasant to God, so it can hinder our prayers to God. Also, looking at lack of faith, we're looking at James 1, 6 to 8. Because of our time, I'm not going to be reading the verses, I'll just be talking on them. But in case we are writing down, James 1, 6 to 8. You know, in James 1, 6 to 8, James likens a man that lacks faith to a double-minded man. He likens a man that has faith in James chapter 1, verse 6 to 8 to a double-minded man. And a double-minded man is unstable. He is incapable of hearing God because he's neither here nor there. So a double-minded man is unstable. A man that lacks faith is unstable. So it can also hinder our prayers to God. Also, disobedience. It is not enough to have faith. It is also important for us to listen to the instructions. It's not enough to just pray. We need to also hear God, to hear his instructions and directions. So it's not enough to just have faith. When God speaks to us, we need to be obedient to his instructions. So disobedience to God can also hinder what you might have prayed for. Probably God has a path for you to follow to meet up with the prayer. But because you are disobedient, it hinders the prayer. Also, unforgiveness. If we look at Matthew chapter 6, 14 to 15, it's very clear there. It's something that we always say every time when we read the Lord's Prayer, which says, if we forgive people when they sin against us, God will also forgive us when we sin against him. So it's very straightforward. We read it every time. So we should learn to imbibe the attitude of not keeping malice. Also, forgiving people when they offend us, so that we can be sure that God will forgive us. And we all know that keeping malice is even a sin. And you know, we said in the first point that sin is unpleasant to God. So we just need to stay away from sin. So this morning I'm charging us. Knowing all this that we've said, that God answers prayers, we should live a prayerful life, knowing fully well that the church is currently going on the fasting and prayer. So this is an opportunity for us to wait on the Lord, to pray